Hi, my name is Jeff Fisher. I am a territory sales manager for the Malt Group. I cover the states of Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, and Michigan. We're primarily a malt supplier, grain supply house. So we, of course, have malt from all over the world. We have malt from the United States. We sell Grey Western malting. We have Canada malting. We have Baird's malting in the UK. We have Durst malts from Germany. We've got malts from all over the world. And unmalted grains is that way. We have specialty grains and all of that. We also stock enzymes. We also are a supplier of some fantastic dried distillers yeast. We've got Pinnacle and that type of thing, and fermenters. And we have Botanicals for our fantastic gin producers. I've been loving barrel gins lately. Like, just some about the barreling gin is amazing. So we've got Botanicals for them. Fruit concentrates. We've even got true barrel extracts that we work in with distilleries that are creating craft cocktails, RTDs, and things like that. Right? They're breaking into a new market with their distilled products, and they need and they're looking for like a barreled extract type of thing. So just a huge variety of products, everything but bottles and corks. We just don't do packaging and closures, but just anything in between. And we're expanding our category. We're bringing in molasses. We're looking at agave syrups to work with our agave spirit producers to further align and to further be of service to the craft distilling industry. So obviously GN and ethyl carbamate is kind of a topic, right? Especially with American Single Malt. So I had a distiller that I honestly, at the time, didn't do much business with. And had stopped in, loved their spirits, had bought bottles, really liked what they did, and they did a number of different type of whiskeys. And they were actually, this small distillery had gotten a contract to ship whiskey overseas. So they were going to make whiskey that was eventually going to go overseas, and they want to sell it in Europe and the UK. So obviously, because they actually regulate ethyl carbamate, right, in whiskey. So they needed a non-GN specialty malt. They wanted a crystal malt and a chocolate malt. That was specifically made with non-GN malt. And while we make a non-GN base malt, we make for a base for whiskey, we're not roasting it or making crystal or chocolate malts. And currently no large malting company in North America is. So, but because of our network, I was able to reach out to a UK counterpart, so a company that's part of our group based in the UK, Baird's Malt. And they don't specifically make a non-GN, market as a non-GN specialty malt. But doing a little research, we found out that they were using non-GN barley varieties to make specialty malts that year, right? Wasn't planned that way, that's just what they were using because it was working great. So I was able to get certifications showing the barley varieties. They were non-GN. We were able to make sure they were in our warehouses. We were able to get them milled the way they wanted milled. And we were able to supply them with this non-GN specialty malt so that they could continue to grow their business and they could potentially ship the stuff overseas and still make specifications and hit all the certifications they needed to be able to do that. A lot of legwork in my company, right? Working with my procurement, working with Baird's barley procurement. So it took a team effort to get that information, but it allows this craft distillery to do what it wants to do. And it wanted to create a completely non-GN, all malt whiskey, right? It was going to be an American Single Malt that they could certify and send it over to UK and the EU. They're great friends now, right? They're wonderful people to work with. Still love their whiskeys, still love helping them produce their whiskeys, but it's nice when you feel like a partnership like that. Like, I get to really work hard and dig in on my end. I'm not just an order taker at that point. I like to feel like I'm part of their process, and we're almost partners because it's good for my business, it's good for their business, and when their business is healthy, my business is healthy, right? So, I think it's our diversity of portfolio. Being part of Soufflet Malt, which is a global malting company, gives us access to in-house brands from all over the world and gives us access to raw materials from all over the world. We can channel those raw materials, like I discussed in the idea of helping the distiller find some actual non-GN specialty malts, that we can work within our own group to do that. And by working within our own group, it just gives us access to so much more. And then, we have 12 distribution centers around North America. We're close to where just about anybody is. And so we're able to just serve our customers better that way. But the whole thing that really gets us is how well we can serve our customers. Because in the end, that's what it boils down to. And I feel that we put service before anything. I know that I do. I feel that the truth of the matter is I don't have anything to sell and really offer but service, right? We have unique products. We have those things that people may want, but I have to serve you well in the process. And I have to take good care of my customers, and we treat them personally that way. It's kind of got a great origin story. So we're founded by a father and son team, really, and Claude and Brian Bichard, and Brian is still with us. They started this in their backyard in a garden shed with 6 bags of malt and a homebrew mill and a cargo van. And Brian thought that he could sell high quality malt, starting with the idea of just selling some bags to homebrewers. And he quickly realized that craft brewers in the area didn't have a great supply of bagged malt. So he started bringing more in. They bought everything he had. And he's still a truck and a garden shed is really how it started in 1995. And he had no customers, and the company was called North Country Malts. And he built that up 30 years later. And we're now the Country Malt Group. We have, 12 distribution centers around North America. But it all started with a guy, his dad, who was a truck driver, and a garden shed, and 6 bags of malt in a mill. So, dream big, right? We all start small. Craft distilling is amazing to me. The differentiation, the creativity, the passion that craft distillers have. It reminds me of the early days of craft brewing, which is when I came into that industry 25 years ago. The passion to create something, make it your own, satisfy not only a local but a national market in many cases, and not just create the status quo and the same old, right? And really that's what draws me to this. When I go into a distillery, small distillery, and it's one person sometimes, right? The owner, he runs the still, and he's got a shelf set up to sell bottles and might have a local distributor. He's there working because he loves it. He loves what he does. He is passionate about what he does, or she. And the quality of spirits that are being made has grown exponentially as well. When I started in the craft distilling market about 15 years ago, I wouldn't say there was stuff that was questionable, but there was stuff that maybe wasn't as palatable sometimes. But now, with the knowledge base, with the education, with the growth of the ADI and the education that's gone along with it, the quality of spirits is world class, coming out of a guy in a small little place and a still, and he's creating world class spirits. So that passion fuels my passion. It makes me want to work with those people so badly. So that's what I love about craft distilling. It would be someone that wants to work collaboratively in many ways, right? They want to work with us. We have, experts in this field. We have people that are there to help. We want to be more than just order takers. So we want to work with a customer that isn't just wanting to check a box, click a thing, and send it. We have those options, right? You can order a website, you can order email, you can do all those things. You can order with us. In the beginning, we want to work with you. We want to be collaborative. That allows us to really tailor not only our products, but our services to that customer. And the goal is to build a long-time relationship, because that's what fuels us, fuels me. Those are the people. I love seeing the phone ring. I love when they call me. Visiting them, I love to do it. I love hearing their successes. I love hearing when they create a new spirit or they create a new brand. or they tapped a new market and they're excited to share that with me. So I'm going to increase a little bit of this product, or I'm going to increase a little bit of that product because I'm tapping a new market. And that's exciting for me. I get excited by their success. And that's the ideal customer. We're primarily a malt business. We have lots of ancillary products. We have tons of different products that we can offer the craft distiller, yeast and fruit and enzymes and all of those things and nutrient and that. But we're a malt business. I mean, that's at our core, right? Great Western malting, Canada malting, Baird's malting. And I'm truly passionate about American Single Malt and whiskey in general. So I love especially American Single Malt producers because they're willing to try new things. They're willing to throw a different barley malt in the mix. They're willing to try specialty grain, right? But, all the whiskey producers are willing to try different things and experiment. And again, like I said in the beginning, that fuels my passion. So the ideal customer I love, someone that's collaborative, someone who wants to work together, someone that wants to build a relationship with their supplier or suppliers, right? Doesn't have to be exclusive, right? We're not married, but we're in a relationship. We got a good friendship. And that's what I like to work with. I like to work with good friends. It makes going to work every day an absolute pleasure when I get to work with my friends. And that's my ideal customer. So you start with our website, which is countrymalt.com. There'll be a link to things to really to look for closely. At the top, you'll see where it says catalogs. You can pull down, we have a specific catalog. It's kind of a shortened and condensed version of our big one with products that are really of interest to distilleries. Now, we do have distilleries that want other products, and we have a huge catalog for that too. But you can really focus in on the distilling catalog. And then you can scroll down, you can meet the team. So you look where you're at, click your state, wherever state you are or province, and it'll give you a contact information on who to contact. It'll also let you see where our distribution centers are, so you know how close we are to you, and that's the best way to contact. Go there, look for that, find your state, click it, and then we'll tell you who to contact.